Attention! The National Weather Service has issued a hurricane warning for the entirety of the National Hockey League. Please stay tuned for further information from the Storm Cellar.
Welcome back to the Storm Cellar. Game 2 is in the books. Ray, the Hurricanes from Raleigh, North Carolina, take it on to the Devils 3-1. A much stronger showing by the Devils in this one. The Hurricanes, not as strong, but still look pretty good. Do I think we're going to sweep them? No. Do I think we're going to win the series? Yes. And that's what I think we've seen out of the first 2 games. Man, what do you think?
You know, it was, you knew there was going to be pushback. The Devils, third in the Metro. They didn't get there by accident. They actually had lost Markstrom for a good part of the season. They've had injuries that they've been dealing with. They are weary and tired of injuries. Be sure of that. But they're a solid squad, and they have threats that have to be dealt with seriously. We saw it when the Hurricanes they didn't arrive on time. I think that's the best way to put it. The first 7 minutes were the Devils pushing back, give them the credit they're due, but there was not the hitting, not the forechecking. It was like the Devils were onto us, for a lack of better terms. And they really pressed, and they get that first goal. And now not only are you chasing the game, but the pressure is really on. Going back to New Jersey, tied at 1, it really increases the pressure on the Hurricanes. I don't want to say it was a had to win the game, but if you want to put life into a team that has as many injuries as they do, that they had to call up 2 rookies from the AHL, both of which playing their very first NHL game, you've got to win that game. You just have to. And thankfully, being shorthanded comes through again. I mean,
what a beauty.
That was such a great shot. And,
just the right guy to do it too.
He was. And you could see, first of all, what a cluster that face-off was at the start. It was a complete mess. And how Orlov was able to scoop it out of there, I really don't know, because it was tied up. And those are the battles that you expect for pucks. But then that little backhanded flip out to Martinook, who is coming down on that wing, and it was the bar down perfect shot. You couldn't place the puck with your hands in a better position at that, by hand you couldn't.
Right.
And it was fantastic, and it ignited the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really did.
It ignited the team. It ignited the fans. They were really, really hopping. And I don't know if you noticed it. What I noticed is something that the Hurricanes don't always do throughout the season, and that's block shots. There were a lot more blocked shots in this game than you normally see by the Hurricanes, which frankly has more to do with the fact that we always have the puck down at the other end shooting, and we don't have to do the blocking. The other team does. But this time around, that's what we got. Sorry, I'm doing all the talking because I can get on a roll on this.
That's okay.
I wanted to get your take on Martinook, especially in the third period, and the play that he made that helped seal the game when the Devils were charging hard. and there was scrambles everywhere, huge saves, um, an opportunity to score that he sure is going to, or was it Meyer? It's going to be in one of their
I
nightmares for
forget.
the rest of their days.
Oh, that was Meyer. That was Meyer.
That was Meyer. Wide open net there for the tie, and that puck bouncing, and he just whiffed right underneath it. He he will never get over that. You just don't.
Yeah, you're right. To go back to your question, Ghost's goal, Martinook's goal, and Jarvis's goal all exemplify what we said after game one, which is north-south hockey.
Yep.
Got two new players as the third defensive pair. You take it to them. You go north-south. You go right at them. Ghost gets open with a great cross-ice pass from, I think it was Jackson Blake.
Yeah.
Just immediately puts us on net and then follows it up, continues going north, right? That's the north and north-south, right? You're going straight at him.
Yeah.
Gets his own rebound. Nothing Markstrom can do, right? He's splayed out. There's nothing you can do. All you have to do is not miss the net, and Ghost does that, right? Also
Yep.
gets Aho his first point of the game. So at that point, you're tied. Brad got that one from Holland Hamilton early in the game, and you're like, seen this video before. I don't like this. I don't like this show.
Yeah.
But then once the Hurricanes settle, and you knew New Jersey was going to come out, right? They're playing for their playoff lives. They
Yeah.
are already down. They don't want to go down 2-0 in the series. They're doing everything they can. Martinook, I was thinking today, who I agreed waiving him back in the day. I knew he wasn't going anywhere, but when they put him on waivers, I'm like, good. He brings nothing to the table. Why is he on the top line sometimes? Why is he in the game sometimes? Like he was definitely the odd man out.
Yeah.
Clearly had to have been injured or something, because in the last two seasons, I've done a 180 on the man. I've been saying all year, you can attest to this, Martinook should be your next captain. I know people want it to be Aho, but I've questioned not so much Stahl's leadership, but his leadership style with the
Yeah.
younger guys in the room, like the more stoic. I feel like that's great for vet, but for younger guys, I feel like they need a little rah-rah. And Martinook gives you that not only in spades, but he has become a devil's killer. My goodness. So, Orlov, like you said, off the face-off, Orlov gets the puck. It's the big thing to me was Martinook immediately takes off, because if he doesn't take off, then he doesn't have the speed to outrun the Devils. And that's
Right.
really what it came down to, is he saw what was happening, made the right read, got a jump, and just took off, aiming for that kind of left face-off dot, and then over the blue line, and just ripped it. And like you said, you can't place a shot better than that. And there's nothing a goalie can do. If you look at Markstrom, he was out of the blue, he was out of the paint. Like, he had a great angle. He still has to worry about Orlov, or I think it was Stahl on the other side, potentially. And Martinook, just a perfect shot. I mean, and the crowd went nuts. I mean, as much as they got it in the, up for Ghost, it was louder for Martinook.
It was.
And then even the empty netter, right? Seth Jarvis gets that from Martinook, who had the best. I think he was our stick of the game, had it not been for how well Anderson played.
Yeah, and we'll
right?
get to him.
And that's again, that is a north-south play, right? You're in your defensive zone. It comes to Martinook. Martinook, I think it was Mercer, was on him.
Yeah.
And kind of gives a little half spin pass, and just right tape to tape, gets it right over to Jarvis, and Jarvis is streaking, and he's gone.
And
that's what you want against this Devils team.
And what I'll say this is that was a real gamble on Seth's part, because if he takes off and Martinook doesn't come up with that puck, now it's 6-on-4. He's got to turn around and hustle back. And that could have been really dangerous. One of the things that makes the Hurricanes when they're on the PK so dangerous for the opposition is just what you said. They look for every opportunity to attack. Even when you're fight, they've got the extra man and they're moving the puck around. All it takes is one bad pass and someone's on a jailbreak. Like they are going. And Aho and Jarvis do it the best, I think. But what we got with Orlov digging it out, recognizing that Martinook's cross ice and putting it on the tape, what more could you ask for? Now, I'll say this. Orlov was, in my opinion, kind of responsible for that first goal. Both him and Chatfield did not look good at the start of this game. Of course, none of them really looked good because the Devils were playing well. Bratt, it was Bratt who scored the goal, as I recall.
It was. They left them wide open on the right wing. I mean,
They did. And Chatfield went straight to the net and forgot that Bratt's behind him. And it was that kick save that just couldn't be directed anywhere else but out in front of the net. And so, that's just one of those ones where being at the right place at the right time. The Devils, they need to be commended. And I'm thinking especially of the AHL call-ups. They were not negatives at all. They probably didn't get as much time as they would have liked to have. But in the same respect, they played solid. They played solid and put pressure on, and they made the Hurricanes scramble. And this is where Freddie Anderson comes in. We talk about stoic. We talk about always under control, emotionless. He just knows where he has to be. And there were a couple of times where he was really like he had lost the net and was scrambling to make saves, but he turned around and made them. And he had help when the defense in front of him got chasing the puck. That's when it's real trouble for a goaltender. There were a lot of people, and I kind of went on a diatribe last night on social network where I just basically said, all of you Caniacs who have been hating on Freddie, wondering why Kochetkov isn't getting the start. Are you happy now? Has Anderson done enough to show you that he is the proper choice to be in net at this point? He has the experience.
Mm-hmm.
He has now. Look, I admit he is fragile. He gets a lot of injuries. But why do you think Rod spent the last month and a half when he came back playing them every other game? To keep him as fresh as possible so that when they are in a series, he can go back to back. And he proved himself. Now, the question becomes, in game 3, do you go with him again? Well, they've got 2 days off. They had today, they have tomorrow off. He's good to go Friday. Do we see Kochetkov at some point in here? I'd I don't know. I'm kind of a ride or die guy. I don't believe we lose anything with Kachetkov in net, but why change? If it's not broke, don't fix it.
I'm with you. And I think some of that is age, if I'm being honest, Ray, because we're used to seeing old timey goalies 70 games a year plus playoffs.
Yeah, well,
And
true.
that's just not how it works anymore. And I think a lot of the people that are out there are younger than us and are used to more of the rotation. So then the question becomes, to me, I'm of two minds. New Jersey's going to come out swinging in game three. There's a good chance
Oof.
they're going to win it because they're going to come out with everything they have.
Yep.
Knowing that, putting in Kachetkov, you know, not not to set him up for failure, but if he gets the L, then you're like, oh, well, it's game three. We kind of expected that.
Yeah.
He got some game time in, hopefully shook, some cobwebs out. You come back with Freddie in game four and try and go up
Mhm.
3-1. The other way to look at it is Freddie gets 2 days off. Freddie's been absolutely stellar. He's been the best goaltender in the playoffs so far. You go into New Jersey, you take game three, and then you can make a decision. We're up 3-0. Now we can play Kachekov anytime we want.
Yeah. And
You know what I mean?
there's an interesting stat that backs it up. When you look at this season, the the goaltender that has the better record on the road is Freddie Anderson. Kuchetkov is great at home,
Mm-hmm.
which helps. I guess it would influence a lot of people who are there watching him, seeing how well he's played at home, saying, go with him, let him be on the road. But Freddie's record is better on the road. And I think he's got the experience to handle what is about to come their way. And make no
I
mistake,
agree.
it's just, and you are right. And you are right. We are old. And I remember the years where I I couldn't, I'm not sure if he played every game, but there were guys that played 80 out of 82 games.
Oh, sure.
And that just happened. He was your guy.
Right.
And
Your backup was truly a backup.
yes, absolutely. Like unless he's injured, your starter's not coming out no
And
matter
to
what.
that point, Kachekov, after a long layoff to me being 3 or 4 days minimum, which is what he's had,
Yeah,
that first game back has been rough.
it has been.
So for me, I would start Freddie in game three. You don't want to take the Devils lightly. You also, the fewer games we play, the fewer injuries, potential for injuries, especially with the New Jersey team that's going to be chippy. Timo Meyer is being Timo Meyer. So the fewer games we can play, the better. So if you can go into New Jersey and win game three, then yeah, 100% I'd put Kachekov in game four, give him some experience, just get him out there. Because at that point, it's 3-0, and we're not in the Maple Leafs, right?
Yeah.
Real quick, because we're going to keep these short. Brent Burns, uh, a lot of Devils fans seem to think that maybe they lost because Brent Burns headbutted Timo Meyer. I laughed.
Yeah,
I mean, yes, he headbutted him, but the penalty for that is either a major or nothing.
it's a match.
Excuse me, a match or nothing. It was a nothing headbutt. Timo Meyer flew his head back like he had been shot
Yeah.
at close
And they
range.
used to play together. That's why
Right.
he was
And
smiling
Burns
through
was
the whole thing.
laughing. I mean, Burns had a big grin on his face. He's laughing. That was not an intent to injure kind of a deal. To me, that was less egregious than the Chatfield thing, which I thought was a non-issue, other than people wanted to make it an issue because it was Chatfield. If look at either Kachuk brother,
Yeah.
and I could pick out probably 20 things a piece they've done this year that were worse
Well,
than that.
well,
You know,
let's stay in this series about behavior.
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
when did Ginsu start making goalie sticks? Right?
Yeah.
Because Markstrom is using his stick like a knife. He is chopping, he is slashing. It if you gave him some vegetables, that stick would be prepping you a decent meal. Like
He
it's a
knocked his
Ginsu
own man out of the
knife.
game for the night.
It was, and it's
And slashed Svechnikov after while his
and
guys
then
laying there.
and then in game
Again, yeah.
two, the two slashes there. Not
Yeah.
only did he get two, he also got the ref.
If
He also
if
got the ref. How many chops does he get with the Ginsu before someone says enough's enough? You're getting 2 minutes.
if the league were to, and they're not going to, obviously at this point, if the league did something about Burns, they have to do something about Markstrom,
Yeah.
because what Markstrom did is honestly more dangerous. A
No,
headbutt, helmet to helmet, that was not that hard. After the whistle, so be it.
yeah.
Markstrom hit his own guy hard enough that he knocked him out of the game, and he was
So,
going for Svetch's right knee, which is the ACL repair.
yeah.
And then he
I,
continued. Like he pushed him down twice in game two. He slashed him multiple, and we see that. I mean, we see that, right? Goalie slash guys. Goalies get away with cross checking guys from time to time and knocking on
yeah.
guys. But should the things being that Markstrom's doing be penalties? Probably. But I'm not going to complain about him because I thought the officiating was equally bad.
Yeah.
Meaning both neither team had a significant advantage. You
No.
know. So, and the good news for me.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ray.
Well, sorry, I've got a question for you about game three, but I want you to finish and then I'll come back at you and then we can wrap things up.
Okay, I did just really quickly by the numbers. Much better than the face-off dot for the Hurricanes. This one, 49.1 to 50.9%, much better than last time.
Yeah.
Both teams go 0 for 3 on the power play. The power play is an issue that can't be it. Both teams end up with 8 penalty minutes, 14 block shots, as you said. New Jersey out hit the Hurricanes. I think most of that came in that first period. I'm not too worried about that. Giveaways and takeaways favor New Jersey. That's where Carolina needs to tighten up.
Yes, no question.
But
let's,
the 6 o'clock start, because honestly, after 7 o'clock, they played fine.
Yeah. And remember, what we have to remember is, yes, the power play, it leaves something to be desired. But recall that while the Hurricanes are number one at the penalty kill, the Devils are number two.
That's very fair.
I mean, so we have to really, and they had some good opportunities. KK's stick blew up the one time. I mean, there were some good saves by Markstrom. So those are all great. I'm putting this question to you now because we are going, and this is going to sound funny because I just finished saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I have a proposal for you.
I'm already
going into New Jersey. Do we pull Roslovic out of the fourth line and put in Jankowski?
I would.
The size and for the toughness. I'm not suggesting that Roslovic is not tough. I'm just saying, for the game that's coming, is that the move that you would make?
I would. I was thinking about that today. I would go into New Jersey needing to play a more defensive game, a little bit more of a slog, right? A little heavier.
Yeah.
And Jankowski fits the bill. And Roslovic, I think, has played great. But this is one of those times when coaching decisions do matter, and I think that would be an excellent one. So,
and Rosie's been a threat. Like that whole line has been a threat. He works really well with Carrier and Robinson. They're friggin' pit bulls, and he gets so much space out there. He gets opportunities. Plus, he's on the power play. And that's maybe the reason why you keep him in. His value on the second power play maybe outweighs what Jankowski brings on the fourth line. It's tough to say.
You know what I would do? I would rather see Jankowski in and Roslovic out and Burns off of power play too. Burns has 3 power play points in 84 games. His shot is gone. I'm sorry. Literally anybody put any defensively responsible forward in Burns's position to move the puck. I mean, I'm not saying Stahl's a power play quarterback. I'm just saying I don't think you can make it worse. And if you can put in a guy that's got a little more speed and is maybe thinking a little quicker, A, you might generate some offense, and B, you're just going to be that much better defensively should you give up a shorthanded chance.
Yeah. And Jankowski actually is a penalty killer as well. And as we've seen, sometimes our best penalty killers are going to the penalty box, which makes it very hard to score shorthanded. But he's been solid. He has not hurt the penalty kill at all. It's going to be a great game Friday night. It's going to be exciting, hard fought. I'm looking forward to it. And this isn't over. And let's shout out Pesce very quickly. That game should have been 4-1 after the second. And Pesce stopped 2 goals that would have been goals with an extra, 7 inches? The one he pulled right off the line.
Yeah, total maybe. Like the one goal was like maybe an inch.
It was crazy at how he did what he always did for us. So we shouldn't have expected.
He's playing maybe his best hockey.
Yeah,
he really is. He really is playing maybe some of his best hockey of the season from the little bit of the Devils that I've watched.
Yeah. So so good for him. I mean, it sucks that it happens against us, but what did we expect? I mean, we knew about him and what he could do for a long time. And he fights hard. So
yeah,
we got a great series. I love this.
We do. And Caniacs, if New Jersey wins game 3, don't panic.
No.
I said 5 games, which is probably a little aggressive, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know anybody who really thought that we were going to sweep the Devils. They're a very good team. So
yeah.
If the Canes lose game 3, don't panic. We're going to be all right. So
settle in and cheer hard. That's really all there is you can do at this point.
And
ready to go.
Real quick, last point. Lenovo Center, loud.
Oh,
so I mean, to the people who were in attendance, all props to y'all because it came through TV. It was loud in there, and when Martinook took the mic and started the Freddie chant, I'm just telling you, like when Stahl hangs it up or when Stahl decides to pass the torch, Martinook for Caps. I'm on the bandwagon for that.
You're making me really, really consider that. You know where I am, but it's an excellent selection because he's just got all the character, all the leadership that you need.
Right.
And
he's an old vet. The old vets respect him, but he's energetic and he sings with Nickelback, and the Jarvies and the Blakes clearly love the guy. So I'm just telling you that
loves to play. Like you could hear the joy in his voice. That's what you want.
Loves the fans, loves the city. He's
a lifer. He's a lifer. Great episode.
Absolutely.
I love these shorter ones. It's not usually our wheelhouse. We usually talk with other Caniacs. Don't worry, we'll keep talking with you. Drop us a line anytime. We'll be happy to invite you in. Old fans, brand new ones, give us a listen. We're ready to talk with you and have some fun and enjoy the playoffs. And go Canes.
Go Canes.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Ray and I greatly appreciate your support in helping us produce an informative and fun podcast. As always, we'd like to say that we believe hockey is for everyone. Whether you're a Caniac or a bunch of jerks, doesn't matter, as we're just a couple of jerks anyway. We would love to hear your questions, comments, and suggestions. We will do our best to answer anything hockey related. You can reach us via email at stormcellar97@gmail.com. On Twitter, we are at stormcellar97, and on Facebook at facebook.com/stormcellar97.